Hey guys, and welcome back to the Unaccompanied Millennial Podcast. We are your hosts, Morgan
and Alanah.
Awesome. I'm super excited. I'm so excited whenever we record though. So
yeah, I know. I get ready all day. I take 2 seconds every once in a while to just be like, later you're going to be recording. So do something, get yourself in trouble, get yourself into a situation, something to talk about.
Something to talk about. Oh my goodness.
Like our Twitter fight.
Oh my, yes. Guys, we have our first hater. Look out. Alanah's not as excited about this as I am.
No,
but...
I had more joy of it than I thought I would. I was so excited just because, first of all, he was doing it to a bunch of other people too. So he wasn't like fully attacking us. And it was just so rude and ridiculous and just that it was comical because he's taking time out of his day to defend people who took time out of their day to attack other people.
Exactly.
So he's even worse than them actually, because he's attacking people to their faces right on social media, bashing people.
Exactly. At least the guys. What was his name again? Brendan
Lepsick or whatever.
Whatever. At least that hockey player was trying to do it in the private of his own DMs, but even then, like I said, it's not acceptable in private or in public. So.
Yeah, but this guy's like on Twitter just going at it.
Like what?
Going at it. The things he was saying.
Oh,
ridiculous.
Can you read what they were saying?
Well.
Oh. Alanah's phone is not working.
My phone's
so.
shit. Oh, I remembered it this time. Okay, so I can't even. The things he was saying to other people, I'm not going to repeat because it was actually horrible.
Right.
Like, besides the fact that he said calling people pigs, like, and saying that they should lose weight and how they're going to be inspired now to lose weight and stuff, to people who aren't even fat. Like, no one, like,
exactly.
And even if they were chubby or whatever, like, fuck off. Like, just, you don't need to be saying that on social media.
And guys, like, we know that he's not really that smart because he literally, the only insult he threw out there was piggy.
Pig,
and
piggy,
oinky, oink, or
like,
whatever.
And to, like, a lot of people, too, not just us. And he wasn't saying it.
Like, he sounded like a schoolyard bully.
Oh.
Except he's, like, 30. So it's sad.
I know, it was really sad. Okay, I can't even get to it. Here we go, I found it. So, it started off with us just putting out a little thing saying, hey, listen to our new podcast, and we're trying to get better with, like, not clickbait, but, like, just making things more catchy.
More relevant.
More relevant, too. So, because that's my big thing is I love talking about things that are going on. So, I wanted to talk about this, plus other topics, but we picked the thing that was the most happening to put as the title, like, in the post. So I put Brendan Lepsick is a misogynist, which is true. He's also homophobic, and he's also racist and a bunch of other stuff. He was just not cool. And apparently his followers are too. So he says on here, where did it go? Jesus, Twitter's really not user-friendly. Or is it just me? Oh, it's gone now.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh, he did get reported.
Yeah, I reported him.
Oh, well, I screenshotted it, but I don't. It's on my phone, which is dead, guys. It's always dead. But,
gone.
So he said something along the lines of, well, these people are going to be inspired now because Brendan Lepsick gave them this, so they'll be thankful, just watch, or something like that. So then I said, because I'm a one with words, there's a huge difference between inspiring people and being malicious and hateful. I understand why you look up to him, ... You seem to have a lot in common.
Which they do.
Which is just...
So then Alanah calls me. I'm at work.
To let her know what I've done.
Yeah. And Alanah did this on her own personal Twitter. Yeah. Because she's like, oh, I don't know. Like, I don't want to fight back as unaccompanied millennials. Alanah tells me this. And I go back and comment on the unaccompanied millennials Twitter. Because he had commented back. What did he said? I forget what he said, but at the end he's like,
he said something pig.
Now why don't you go to bed, little piggy? Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay. Fuck. Like, this is my partner. Back up. So I commented, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. Because it's number one rule, like, you learn that in Bambi, okay?
When
so
you're little.
I did that, and then hashtag boy bye with a boy bye gif, because
which is
you
funny.
guys will get to know, like, I love fucking gifs. If I can explain
gifts
anything with a GIF,
gifts?
It's a GIFs.
I know, but you just made it. I love fucking GIFs.
I like gifts and GIFs. So I did that, and then he just commented oink. So, and then I posted a GIF of Miss Piggy roundhouse kicking Kermit the Frog. So, and I think that ended the conversation quite nicely. He did comment back. I don't know what he said, but I reported him.
Oh, did he say something else again?
Yes, I reported him.
Oh, I didn't even realize it.
It was done. I gave him one chance to back up.
One more chance. But obviously someone like that, everyone should know that he loves it, right? He's on there. I go check his page out. He's doing this to hundreds of people a day.
Like he's a fucking, what's that called? Where he's a hater, and I'm very excited about our first hater.
He loves it. He's going on there talking about people's faces and how they look, and he posted on this one guy calling them a bunch of losers and calling them homosexual and making it sound like it's a terrible thing to be homosexual and that it's not his fault that they're gay and all this stuff. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, are you on crack?
Like, he just wants to hurt people because he hates himself.
He hates himself.
Okay, wait, I'm gonna open my drink.
Are you doing an insider scoop?
No. This whole episode is an insider scoop, so you're welcome.
Yeah. No, I just couldn't believe the amount of hate this guy has in himself and how desperately he obviously just wants to be a part of this whole scandal. He obviously is a diehard fan and he just wants to be a part of this whole situation. Yeah. So he's like, Brendan Lipstick's my god. And he's
I'm going to insert myself in the drama.
He's literally like, people were like, leave Brittany alone, back then. And Brittany's like, she wasn't doing anything terrible. She was just going a little crazy.
Yeah.
This guy does something pretty shitty and he's like, leave Brendan alone. And then he's like, in all capitals, yes, we're private messages. And we're like, okay, cool. That's a good fact. I agree. We also, if you listen to our podcast, we actually talked about that.
Yeah. Like, when it comes in our bonus episode, please go check it out. And then...
Jesus Christ.
No, but I'm super stoked about our hater. Woo! Moving up, guys. We're moving up.
Moving up.
Oh my gosh.
No, but it's just crazy how much time he has in his day to do that.
Right?
It's Mother's Day and he's bashing moms and mothers and people, all these women.
I didn't even realize it was Mother's Day. What a horrible human being.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I'm saying. The amount of hate he has in himself to spend the whole day doing that on Mother's Day.
It's so sad. I feel bad for him. And you want to hate the haters, but that just fuels them. You gotta have sympathy for them because they've obviously went through something in their life that has made them like that. And I'm sorry about that.
And no one like that is going to have genuine good friends because they don't know how to treat people. Mm-hmm. Or if they do have a few, they're just as fucked up as them and they're not surrounded by good people. Because if his friends aren't telling him, hey, what are you doing? There's a problem. If I went on Twitter and said that to someone, I would have no friends. All my friends would be like, what are you doing? Are you having a psychotic break?
Cringing. So cringing. They'd be like, are you okay?
Or the first thing, actually, I think people would be like, oh my god, Alana's been hacked.
Yeah.
That'd be the first. Honestly. Me too, with you or something, or any of my friends. I'd be like, oh my god, they've been hacked.
Right.
Let's find the hacker.
I've never seen the, the point of retaliating against those people, except that's on my fucking podcast page. Back up, I'm going to say something with an hilarious gif,
and it wasn't anything. We weren't fueling the fire saying, oh, you're a pig, blah, blah, blah. We didn't it's good. I made my little point very wisely. I feel like it was blah blah. Then he went oink oink, and then you went bitch bye with the gif or gif. Is it gif or gif? I would say gif peanut butter, but I think it's gif. I think
people say it two different words, but and then I just put out a little advice. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all.
The golden rule.
Thumper fucking knew that.
Or treat people how you want to be treated. Do you want people going on your Twitter saying that you're an ugly, disgusting pig and you defecate out of your chin? You said that to someone?
What the fuck?
I'm laughing because I couldn't believe that he was saying that. He's like, did you defecate out of that ugly bum chin of yours? To this poor person. I'm like, what the fuck?
She did nothing to deserve that.
What the hell?
And I've really been trying to move past because like I said earlier in our earlier podcast, I used to be a very negative person, and sometimes I still just automatically my brain says, oh, I hate this. I hate that. I hate this person. But I'm really trying to look past that type thing. And because I feel really I can, what I want to say is that I hate him. But really what I'm feeling is I feel sorry for him. And I feel sorry for the people in his life. Because that's not a good energy.
Yeah, for me, I've always been very picky with my friends and people who I hang out with. Just because I feel like you have one life and you want to surround yourself around people who actually care about you and actually want to put the effort in and stuff. So I've always put myself around good people. So I'm very easy to be, if I hang out with someone or bump into someone and chat with them and I'm not feeling it, I'm not.
That's awesome. Like, that's
I'm not
very
doing it again. Or
emotional.
If one person
awareness.
ever were to like comment something like that or get into it, like, I don't have any fights with my friends. Like, when we don't fight. I'm not saying they're going, yeah, well, you did this and blah, 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 blah. Like, there's none of that. Because
there's a conversation.
And, like, I even said to Morgan, I'm like, if at one point you ever feel like I'm not doing something properly or anything, just tell me, because I either I just don't notice, or I notice, but I just haven't brought it up to you that I feel that way too, so just tell me.
And I think fights between friends come up because you're holding shit in.
You hold things in and you don't say anything.
The issues that came out, like, do you remember in high school? I don't know if you had this, but
I went to a Catholic high school, a very preppy Catholic high school, so
yeah, like at the beginning,
sure.
I was at a public school and I had a group of 4 girlfriends, and we were so tight the first 2 years of high school. And one friend, well, 2 of them in my group were like long friends from childhood, and then we kind of got this other girl into our group. I don't even remember how she became a part of us, and we were like glue. We did everything together, and that was our group. And people, we were just kind of a random group of 4 that my one friend was really popular, pretty dancer. The other friend was smart and kind of pretty, and people like those 2 attracted the friends. And then there was me and Jessica, and we were the down to earth, crazy, like tomboy, because I was still in grade 9. I was still in tank tops, huge sweaters, and jeans. That was my first year wearing girl jeans, I think.
But it's funny how the 4 of you were close, but you were complete opposites. But
oh yeah,
you didn't let that change who you were and start hanging out with different people necessarily
until later.
When eventually
we grew apart,
usually.
But there was so much drama between just the 4 of us because.
Oh, was there drama between you guys?
Because not me and Jess. I don't think there's ever been drama between me and Jess except in grade 8. Jessica will remember this. Either grade 7 or grade 8. I wrote a note to Jess because she was mean to me all the time. If Jessica was the type of friend that, like, she didn't go easy on you. Like, it was like something that you do when you make fun of the people you love and stuff, and that's how she expresses her love.
If I don't make fun of you, make jabs at you, I don't like you.
Exactly.
If I'm sitting there silent, I do not like where I am.
So me, low self-esteem Morgan in grade 7, grade 8, I'm like, and it wasn't me. Like, I knew that's how Jessica.
Just hormonal emotions.
Showed her love for me, but everybody else is like, she's so mean to you. Everybody else is in my ear, and I'm like, yeah, but that's how, and they're like, no, friends don't do that. I'm like, that's how we work. That's our friends.
But
like,
that's
Jessica. Like, and so, like, I wrote this note, and I never was going to give it to her, but she found it, and then she got mad at me for writing this note, and then it was a big thing, and I think we didn't talk for like 2 days, but then...
What was the note?
It was just like, you're mean to me, pretty much. Like, it was like a paragraph or like paragraphs. I don't remember how she even read it. I don't know.
Do we not have cell phones, or do we just? We were in that stage where we still wanted to be old school, and also between notes and because I remember I was given one day in grade 6, I think it was. It was like, will you date me? Yes or no? And I was like.
I never got those.
I don't know.
Like
in my head, I was like, I guess I have
maybe
to circle like,
make your own box.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, I was like, in gym class is coming up. It's just gonna be awkward.
Like I have a lot going on today. Gym class, like we're doing dodgeball.
Like I'm just like, it's kind of an awkward day because gym's like in 15 minutes, and then I have to like talk to you in gym. Because back then, like it was just a different.
Did you ever feel like one note ruined your life?
One note?
I just have a story.
Oh, okay. I was like, where's this going?
So, in grade 7 when you have specific tables and there's like 4 people that sit at a table.
You shove everything into the middle of your desk. Like, did your desks.
That was like elementary school desks, the ones where you had your own.
Oh, you're right.
Desk.
In 7 and 8, just a flat desk. You had to bring everything with you.
Yeah, you bring it in grade
right.
7 and 8. That's what our tables were like, just flat, and there was 4 people that sat at a table.
Oh, ours weren't like that until high
groups.
school. In our schools, you had your own desk still.
Right.
In up until grade 8.
Oh, okay.
You still had your own desk, but they were just the flat ones.
Yeah.
Not high school, and then we sat as 4, and I loved it because you got to sit right with your friends.
Yeah, I love it until like when you get sat with specific. I think the teachers sat you with specific people to bring you out of your shell.
You couldn't pick where you were sitting.
Nah.
That
so
sucks.
it was scary.
Oh.
So I was sat with. I forget which table Jessica was at, but she didn't sit me and Jessica together. But I was at a table, and I just remember there was these 2 guys that were like troublemakers, like the bad boys type things. Mm-hmm. And like, I get along with everybody. Everybody knows this. Like, whatever. I just live my life. I was a little awkward, but I could still get along with people.
Yeah.
So Jess one day writes a note looking like it's from me to one of the guys that I'm sitting with at this table.
Okay.
And then another kid in the class finds it. It's like a love letter.
Okay, Jessica.
And then he it's posted up in front of the water fountain by my class.
Who did that?
A kid that I went to school with, another one of the boys that was like popular, like mean boy, like not mean boy, but like.
Did she do that because she knew you liked him?
I did not like him, but she knew it made me go red. Like she knew it made me blush. That was all my friends' goals, and every interaction was to make me go red, which is not hard. My face literally goes Christmas red.
Oh yeah,
like,
my sisters did that to me a few years ago. We were at the bar.
Oh my god.
At this like really nice like restaurant bar, but it was nighttime, so everyone was at the bar side. It was my sister Erin, Jenna, and I, and we're sitting there, and these like some like older business guys come in. They're probably in their late 20s or whatever, and one of them had an interest in me because he came over and he started trying to talk to me, and I was like talking to him, whatever, and they were drunk, and they're like that where they're troublemakers too, right? So I went to the washroom and I came back, and I'm sitting there, and then he comes back over and starts chatting with me again. He was actually kind of cute, but like still, like I don't know him at all,
right?
And then they know what they say, and they ruin it. They look at him and they look at me and they go, "She likes you." As a fucking, because they were hammered.
Yeah, and
so
then
I looked at them and I was like, what the fuck? And then he goes, oh, and then like walks back with his friends. I'm like, oh my god, you guys didn't fucking just do that. That's so embarrassing.
Oh, in the hallways, my friends, like in our grade 9 and 10, like the group of 4 that we had, whenever they seen the guy that you were crushing on, they would literally throw you into them.
Ew.
Like, we were the worst. The worst.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, like there was a fight between, it was always the two that there was drama between. And it would.
But that's like every group when you have a few girls in the group, there's always drama between some of them. Like like in high school, there was always those few people in the group that always caused some sort of trouble. Yeah. Yeah. Or it was always about them or something, right?
That's a common theme.
That's just a common theme. But then you grow, the friends that aren't like that, you keep, and then you grow on, or sometimes they grow up too. Right. It just depends, but.
Do you remember when you first started becoming friends with boys? Like for me, that didn't happen until like grade 11, grade 10.
Oh, okay. Well, the thing is that in elementary school, we were all pretty close.
Oh,
like
right.
all of us would hang out with the guys. We'd all go to the park or after school, or we would go for walks or go bike riding or play like street hockey and stuff. So I was actually friends with boys when I was really young, but then yeah, I'd say like even after school we'd all hang out even grade 7 and 8.
Yeah.
But then in grade 9 everyone got a little socially awkward with each other because we're in high school now. And then on the weekends a bunch of us would hang out at like someone's house. But then people started to get feelings for each other, got a little awkward, so then people started to hang out, just the guys, just the girls a little bit once in a while. And then grade 11 and 12, people started to get a little less awkward. But I found grade 10 was like the worst year.
For me, grade 10 was where I started like kind of opening up to the idea of having friends that were guys, because I had history with Mitch and Renee.
Oh, okay.
And they sat behind me, and I've been best friends with Mitch ever since that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So because I never really dated anyone in high school or anything.
No, me neither.
But my parents had hockey borders at our house.
Oh, yes.
And everyone forgets about this, but
Italian?
I was pretty cool for that in high school because so it was whatever the Sudbury team is.
Oh, the Wolves.
The Wolves, or I think at least. I might be lying.
I'm pretty sure it's the Sudbury
Wolves.
But
we had, like, I don't know what my parents were thinking because I'd always like flirt with them and talk with them, and they'd hang out with me on weekends.
Were they Swedes?
So one was from Finland, one was from Alaska, and one was from Germany. They were all very nice. I saw them all on Facebook and everything. Super, super nice. And one of them I was very friendly with, but in like a friend way. He was just like kind of like an older brother. He was very, very nice. And then another one, I was like, damn. I was like, mm-mm.
Which one, Finn?
From Germany.
Oh, Germany.
He was just really pretty.
You've always said it. I don't have COVID. I just went for a bike ride earlier and my lungs hurt. I'll be okay. I'm not sure what's happening.
Voice just goes away. Take a drink of water or something.
We're good. What was I saying? You've always had a thing for foreign boys, eh?
Well, I don't know if that's what started it or if it's just people like something different. I don't know. But yeah, I was in a house in grade 9 and 10 being a 14, 15-year-old girl with 17, 18-year-old hockey OHL borders.
Oh my god. Yeah, because that's when you're first like, ooh, boys.
Right? So I'm sitting there with my pool and my deck and I'm like laying there. I'm like, hey. Like I'm like sitting there, I'm like, hey. But
zero confidence. You still have your frilly bathing suit.
No, I did not. I was in grade 9 and 10. I had some fashion-ish. I
did not. In grade 9 and 10, I think I still wore like one pieces with shorts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All my friends wanted to sleep over. All my friends wanted to sleep over all the time. Though we'd always have little parties at my house. Like my parents would go out for the weekend, and the boys would be there. And then like my friend Julia and a bunch of friends would come over, and we'd all be like playing music. I think one time my friend Brooklyn, Julia, and I think there was someone else there. I can't remember which one of my friends was there as well. We thought we were cool, and we had a few drinks, like 4 or 5 drinks, because we were in grade 9 or 10, right? And we had the music going, and they're downstairs, and they're like starting to hang out with us a bit and chat with us, because they were all super nice.
And they had nothing else to do.
They had nothing else to do really, and they weren't supposed to party because they're in the OHL, so they would have a few drinks, but they would just kind of sit there on their laptops, whatever, and hang out. So they came downstairs and they were hanging out with us, and we decided to do the cinnamon challenge. Oh,
that's a very sexy challenge to do, man.
I'm pretty sure 3 of us puked in a sink at one point from the cinnamon.
I almost.
It was now. I'm like, why did we do that? Like we were with hot boys. Like why were we?
Because you think it's hilarious.
I guess so. And we're also the kind of people where even though we liked boys and we thought they were cute and stuff, and we'd probably try to show off a little bit, we weren't gonna not be funny or be ourselves at all at the same time. That's hilarious.
So. Oh my god. I remember me and Mitchell did the cinnamon challenge, and it's probably on YouTube somewhere.
It's painful.
Still. I almost died. You can almost die. I'm pretty sure one person has died from the cinnamon challenge.
The only other worst challenge is the one where you eat the 5 soda crackers at the same time or whatever. You feel like you're gonna choke and your whole mouth is so dry you can't swallow a thing. Right. And then you're talking and they're just spraying cracker crumbs like everywhere.
I remember that's what happened with the cinnamon challenge. We set up like the camera and then we do this cinnamon thing and then I laughed, and then Mitchell started choking, and then we just had to rinse our mouths out with water. And then you have to clean up the fucking cinnamon.
And then it's all fun because you're cleaning, and you want to throw up even at the look of it.
Oh my god. Oh, fuck. Grade 10 was a very awesome year because that's when, like I had one best friend from grade 8, Ricky. We were really close. Mm-hmm. And then, but you can't kind of mesh 2 groups together in high school. Like it was a whole thing. And
well, because I don't know what your high school was like, but we were very cliquey, our high school. So I was the kind of person, I have my groups of friends that I stay with, but I chat with really anyone. I wasn't rude, but at the same time I avoided quite a few people because I just didn't want to be around them.
Our cliques were like, there was
Julia
like the
was
popular,
the same. She'd be like, ugh.
There was a popular people, and you knew they were popular because starting grade 9 they were hanging out boys and girls, and like We weren't doing that. But they hung out in the same hallway that we hung out in at lunch. And I think it was grade 10/grade 11 when me and my group of 4 started hanging out like in the gym, because not electives, but just they would have the sports playing during the lunchtime, so we would do that. And I sweat all the time, so I wouldn't really want to play any sports, but I would still go in there just to hang out and stuff. So it was pretty cool.
spent almost all grade 11 and 12 for the most part. In my spare, I would either sit in the cafeteria or I go home sometimes in my spare. But I usually spent my lunch after eating, or sometimes I would just go right to the library, just because there's so much going on. And that's just who, like, all my friends would kind of do that. We were just, not because we were nerdy or anything.
Did you hang out in the library?
We would go and we would do our homework in the library, because all of us had jobs.
Right.
So I couldn't, and I don't know, like, we didn't at the same time though. We'd also go do other things, or we'd go for a drive, or we'd hang out outside.
Depending.
But a lot of times, especially by the end of the year and at certain times of the year, we would just sit in the library.
Good for you. God.
Do homework.
Yeah, we would either be, before we could drive, we were hanging out.
Everyone got a little nervous about not getting into university, so everyone was like,
oh my God, like, yeah, I never had that issue. After my group of 4 kind of evolved into a bigger group with like some Mitch, Renee, a few other people, and then grade 12 was when I started, me, Mitch, and Jessica kind of separated from the other group, because there was a bunch of drama, and then other girls. Made your own little we each kind of evolved into our own little cliques, and like that's fine. We were still, most of us were still, were on talking terms and stuff like that. Huh. It was interesting.
It's weird, because my mom, and I'm pretty sure my aunt said this to me too when I was little. They said, your friends when you're little aren't necessarily going to be your friends in high school, and then your friends in high school aren't necessarily going to be your friends out of high school. And it's crazy, because it's true and it's not true, at least for me.
Yeah.
Like, I have my few friends from elementary school that I still chat with, talk to, or when I was younger, and best friends with. And then I still have my friends from high school that were still best friends, and nothing's changed. But then I've also met people in university and work, and then it really starts to fade out, and you keep your core people. But it's because I remember, like, I was like to my mom, I was like, what? I'm like, we're best friends forever.
When you were planning your wedding in grade 6.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you're gonna be my best
bridesmaid.
Yeah, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. Like,
you're gonna throw rice at me. Like,
so
you knew.
Insane. Yeah. Like, me and Jessica have been, like, that's my core, like, my main friendship from that. And then, my other friend, like, Mitch from grade 10. It's still crazy.
Talk. People come, like, sporadically, and you never know that that's going to be your
best
friend. You
never know who's going to stick around.
No.
Because, like, my one friend, we were friends from before, like, elementary school. Like, we didn't go to the same elementary school. She was in French immersion. Okay. And we were best friends for years. Like, when my parents told me, I think it was my senior year, so grade 12, and I went back for a second year of grade 12. So in my first year of grade 12, my parents pulled me and Taylor into the kitchen and said, we're gonna separate, like, this is what's happening. And it was like, that was probably one of the most...
I didn't realize that happened when you were in grade 12.
Yeah.
Your first year. Oh, I thought you were a bit
Actually,
younger.
It might have been 11.
Oh, I'm not sure. I thought you were...
Okay, so, like, my grade 12 and my second year grade 12 years blend together because I was a stoner. But it was grade 11. I believe that this happened. So my parents were like, hey, we're separating. And we're like, what the fuck? And that just, like, threw...
Yeah, that's hard.
Nobody was expecting it. Not our family, friends, anything. So, and my friend from daycare, I walked to her house. She was, like, a block and a half away. I was, like, I didn't cry when my parents told me that they were going to separate because I wasn't okay with emotions at that point. But I walked over to my friend's house. And her and her family were getting into the vehicle because every Sunday they went to their grandparents for a dinner, and I would go a lot, and I was practically part of the family. I could just walk in whenever I went there. So they were loading into the car, and I went, and I'm like, hey, are you busy? And she's like, yeah, like, what's up? I'm like, just started bawling. I'm like, my parents are separating, and they're like, oh my God. And then the parents got involved, and they're like, okay, get in the car. Like, you're coming. Yeah, so I went to the grandparent.
That's probably a good distraction, though.
It was, yeah. And like, if you would have asked me 10 years ago if we were going to still be friends now, I would have been like 100%. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, and you guys
she was my best friend.
While.
No, we haven't talked. I seen her, the last time I seen her was last year before I went to Kenora. And I seen her boyfriend in Sports Check. I was getting my bike checked out. And he's like, oh, she's over there if you want to go talk to her. And I actually tried to avoid her.
Oh, because it's just you felt like it was
I'm like, because we started drifting apart when I started smoking weed. Because we had different views on that, I guess. And that was when we started drifting apart. And I didn't talk to her for about 2 years until I got back to university. In my first year of university, I remember it was my first reading week, and she was going to a different university out of town, and I messaged her and I said, I know that we have had our issues, but like, I love you and I am excited to see where you go in life. And like, I messaged her and reached out. And then we got together, and we would get together like once every 6 months, and then it went to once every year, and then I haven't talked to her since last year. And
that's okay though, because you both know you're there for each other, but at the same time you aren't supposed to be maybe now at least in the journey.
Exactly, and like, she was my person back then, but she's not necessarily my person now.
And I have friends like that too, where I still keep up with them, and I actually care about them even if I don't talk to them for a long time. But at the same time, we're just on completely different paths and worlds. And,
yeah, that's right.
And the people who are the most supportive and the people that are there for me are the ones that keep me right now. So
the weirdest thing was like one of my first best friends. We went to daycare together. So before even elementary school, she lived 2 houses down. We were inseparable.
Aww.
And she went to French immersion school as well. But I think in grade 2 or 3, she came to my school, to the English school, and she started hanging out with the cool girls.
Oh God!
So it was weird. It was really weird for me because I wasn't confident. I wasn't like, I was always nice to everybody.
Were you nervous around them?
I was very nervous, and it was weird because I didn't know how to act around her, and I was.
And was she not understanding, or did she not realize you were uncomfortable, or she just didn't care?
Well, it's not like I would go and try to hang out with them. I would say hi to her in class and stuff.
Oh, and then
but during recess, it'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out with Jess and my crew.
The ones you felt comfortable with.
Yeah, exactly. So it was very weird to see that, and like, we still talk, or it's not like we keep up with each other, but we have each other on Facebook. We keep up, and she lives down.
Isn't it crazy how people can be friends and then they'll go and be friends with someone else and choose them over you, and it just keeps moving around.
It is weird. Because at one point, even, like, me and Jessica's my oldest friend. And at one point, she had a different group of people than me. Yeah. Because I wasn't comfortable around those people. They were... Yeah. But but we always came back, and... Or when I started smoking weed, Jessica was kind of with us a bit, but she's like, I need to take a step out of this because... Like, that's not where my path leads me. 100%. Like, you just... deal with whatever.
And then eventually you stop too, because like,
exactly,
whose path is being stoned all the time?
Yeah.
But when you're young and you have really nothing else to do,
exactly,
why not for a little bit?
And my stoner life, like, that brought me to a lot of other people, and I have created a lot of connections through that too, but none really that have lasted.
Like, it hasn't made you
like, I think I have 1 or 2 like really good friends from that time. 2 or 3. I don't know whoever's listening, but...
You're like, I don't know who's listening to this. There's a few.
There's a handful of people from that time, and
there's a lot of them who are super nice, too, and I actually, if I bump into them, I'm like, hey, how are you? Oh my God, hi. But at the same time, I'm not hanging out with them. It's just not that lifestyle. Just because it's not the same at all. Yeah. Like, I have asthma. I can't smoke weed anymore. I'll have an edible once in a while, or if someone buys them, or if it's like my birthday or something, and someone had them, I'd be like, okay, let's do it.
Well, it's exciting.
But God, my mind goes wild.
I
love to drink. I like to drink more. Or if I have a few drinks and then I have one, it's a blast. Yes. And I'm in an environment where it's party and there's people around. But if I'm like by myself or with 1 or 2 other people sitting there and I take an edible, I'm fucked. I think the world's ending. I get paranoid.
Yeah, well, because your brain's already crazy, and then you have weed, and it's like, whoa.
It's not crazy.
You literally, we had to cut out a whole 20-minute clip from an episode because you were talking about how we were not real and it's all a simulation. And I literally can't let my brain go there, so we're not going to talk about it, but...
Yeah. It's a possibility.
Okay, we're done. We're not talking about it.
I'm not saying this because I'm a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but because leading scientists like Elon Musk even says, the creator of SpaceX and Tesla, even says there's a 1 in a billion chance that we are in face-to-face reality, because if you look at video games now, imagine those in 100 years from now. You're not going to be able to tell the difference. Like, think of Grand Theft Auto 1 versus Grand Theft Auto 5, or any game.
I literally have never played
any
of that.
Your Animal Crossing from then to Animal Crossing now, the quality of it.
Yeah.
Everything's progressing, and it's doubling, right? Mm-hmm. The technology, the amount of people that are working on it and just progressing with it. I just think, personally, and a lot of people do, that if we aren't in a simulation, it's going to end up being like that, or we already are. Like, I don't know where you're on the spectrum. Just like with the universe, we're either the smartest thing on the planet or the dumbest thing. We just don't know yet. Like, or we're the first things or the last things.
Yeah.
There's no way we're the only things.
Yeah.
I just don't know which part of any spectrum we're on because no one knows.
Yeah, that shit stresses me out. Like, I literally can't.
I've been like this since I was little. I remember vividly after swimming lessons, sitting like at the YMCA, looking outside, waiting to be picked up, and I sat there, and I was probably like 7 or 8 or 9 or I don't know, however old it was when he started like Titans or whatever,
right.
Like my first year of competitive swimming or whatever. I was sitting there, and I was like, why am I here? Like, I was that young.
God.
What is going on out there, and what is all this?
Yeah.
At that young of age, I was sitting there thinking that, and it would freak me out. And then I would look at the chair I was sitting on, and I was like, what is this chair? What the hell is it made out of? I get that it's made out of plastic, but who put that here?
Yeah,
and exactly. it just like, I guess it was made, but when I was little, when I was like, I didn't realize someone made plastic. I probably thought someone chiseled it out of the ground.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I would sit there and think, why am I here? What's going on? What is the world? What is outer space? Why is it here? Does it end? If I kept running into outer space, would I ever hit the end of it?
Right.
Or will it keep on going, and why does it keep on going?
Yeah.
And then I thought, even at that age, maybe it's like a TV kind of thing, like in the fact of when you're inside of it, it's digital. It's infinite. It's just a bunch of numbers, and it keeps getting higher and higher.
Yeah. That's so sketchy.
Oh yeah, when I was little,
I remember, I forget how old I was, but I remember the first time I thought of death, and I'm like, what is it? It's just darkness. It's nothing. And like, I literally just spiraled into like a frenzy of stress of that, and I cried. Like, I was just laying there. I remember I had bunk beds, and I was like, what the fuck? And what is that even?
Just one day, just being...
Yeah, just thinking about it. So I just keep that shit away from my mind. Really.
Yeah. I worry less. I don't really worry about just dying like that, because I feel like you just don't know. You're just gone. I feel like my worry is finding out I'm going to die and then having to know that for a period of time, or someone else dying. Because I've had someone else die in my life that's very important, and it sucks. And I don't want to ever have to go through it again.
For sure. Tyler and me had an interesting conversation yesterday. Would you rather know when you were going to die or how you were going to die? And really the only answer to us is when. Because if you were to figure out how you were going to die but not when, if you say we're going to get hit by a white truck,
you'll always be scared of driving. You'll never do it again.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to know how I'm going to die. That's awful. Because it could be the worst way, and I don't know. I could be one of the people they make a documentary on, and I just don't know yet. You know, and that's trippy as fuck to me. I don't even want to think about that, because I don't... Oh.
I know.
You could be any of those stories that come out.
How did we get here in this conversation?
I have no idea.
It always gets dark here.
But this isn't even as dark as that one you had to cut out.
I literally had to cut out a big section of it because I couldn't.
I should make a YouTube video of, the top 10 blah blah blah, top 10 darkest thoughts in my head.
Oh yeah, fuck. Oh my God. Okay, let's turn this around.
I'm still happy. I'm smiling.
I know. It's not like I'm upset or anything, but fuck, I'm sorry that you guys have to listen to that.
Oh,
like,
they're probably intrigued by it. They're like, oh yeah, I think like that sometimes too.
Yeah, I feel like it's a normal thing.
Yeah.
What are some of the weirdest things that you thought about as a kid that you were like, fuck, like I'm fucked up?
A lot of things. I think I was messed up. I think it was only me.
I exactly. Mm-hmm. I would think that. First of all, I've always had this thing where I think I have a speech impediment.
Okay.
And even when I listen to the podcast back, I feel like I kind of do somewhere.
Oh.
Like I can feel it in my tongue sometimes when I talk.
For me, I'm trying to say a word, but then I start to say another word because I have so many ideas to say.
Right.
And then I mumble a bit sometimes, and I'm like, oh.
When I used to think, what if my parents are paying my friends to be friends with me because I'm just mentally challenged? Like,
what the hell?
I know. I used to think that all the time.
I remember when I was really little. It wasn't that, but I remember thinking, what happens? This was another one of my young age fucking thoughts. What if I'm just a crazy person, but I just don't know I'm crazy, and I just think that I'm normal, because they probably just think they're living a normal fucking life. They probably think they're making toast, but they're axe murdering someone.
Yeah.
And maybe that's me, and I just don't fucking know. And it's true. I could be delusional and think I'm doing this.
What if everybody is just delusional? Like, what is really happening?
And then I also always think all the time, what happens if what I'm seeing isn't actually what I'm actually seeing? What is around me that, and I don't know. I only see certain colors and certain lights and certain what are they called? Signals and no, not signals, waves. Mm-hmm. So what happens? What about all those millions of other colors and waves and particles that I'm not seeing? Oh. Maybe that's why some people do see demons and ghosts, because they are able to see certain different.
I'm nervous right now. But so, have you ever heard of shadow people? We've talked about shadow people before.
Yes, Yeah. Okay, go ahead. I kind of it's like black figured people, right?
When you're looking, so say I'm on the computer, or this was happening a lot during my last 12-hour shift, I'll just be sitting there watching a movie, but then you see something walk by in your peripherals. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. I always get that, where it looks like there's somebody walking by to the side of me, and you look and there's nobody there, because those are shadow people, or
what the hell do you mean, a shadow person?
It's just, you see shadows of things that aren't there.
They could be cars going by.
No, it's not, though. It's in a house. Like, it's in a building with no windows, or like it looks like a person walking by.
Like an actual person?
Yes.
Not just like a black something going by?
My dad sees them, like if he wakes up in the middle of the night, he sees them like crawling through his window.
What the fuck?
Shadow people. He calls them them. Yeah, they come in sometimes. I see them, but
your dad's just like, oh, casual.
Yeah, he's like, whatever. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And the bad, like the evil ones, are the ones with the top hats. You can see like the top hat.
I don't think you're saying that right now, because Neil said to me when he was younger. So I don't know how I feel about any of this stuff, actually, because I believe genuinely that nothing matters and nothing's really that real.
I don't like that.
So, and other people don't. My mom always gets mad at me, and she's been like that since I was little. Because my mom, she's not like heavily religious, but she believes that there's a God and all that stuff. And I've never. Mm-hmm. When I was little, I used to think that maybe because I didn't really know.
So that's what they said.
But by the age of like 10 or 11, I was like, I don't really think so. And I've always led more of a non-religious, non-religious life. So they were always like, mom's always like, so you're telling me that when I die, and then when you die, I'm going to have to beg for them to let you in. I'm going to have to sit there and plead and beg for them to let you in because you don't believe, so they're going to send you somewhere else, and I'm going to have to beg for them to let you into heaven. And I'm like, what the fuck? Anyways, because I'm not an atheist, but maybe.
But you don't believe,
I believe in other things.
You don't believe that a man is up there.
I don't believe a white man with a beard and a white cloak is up there. Like, that's cult shit.
Yeah, it is.
A little bit.
But,
and I'm not saying that people who believe that are wrong. Yeah. It could be right.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's how. I don't believe that's the image of it.
I believe in energy. Like, I believe in the universe being the higher power.
I believe that there's or we're in an experiment, or we're in a
simulation. We're right back.
Or we're getting now close to the stuff we had to cut out the other time when I said one comment. But it's true. Is that not real? Like, it could be true.
Yeah, everybody has their own belief. Like, whatever.
I know it's not belief, it's just theories of different things, because no one knows. That's the thing. So I would rather spend my life being open-minded and being like, no, it could be these million things, rather than, oh, it's this. Like, no one knows what's going on here.
Exactly.
Like, we were basically, like, the Hunger Games, dumped in our sleep when we woke up.
Yeah.
And because, like, no one remembers being a baby. Were
like,
we
one
even
day
babies?
we were pushed.
Were we even there?
One day we were pushed out of a human being.
But were we, though?
How?
Like,
How?
Obviously, we were, because we then witnessed it come out of us, which is, I don't even want to think about. But he's like, no one remembers that. So you just wake up one day and you're like, oh, I'm a human.
Yeah. What's your first? Like, I don't even remember.
Right, your first real. It's almost like when you're stoned or you're drunk and you realize you're stoned or drunk, and it goes.
Or when you time travel when you're drunk. Yeah.
What?
When you get so drunk that you
forget,
time is erased.
Oh, yeah.
And like, so like, I've been so drunk and I'm dancing at the bar, and then all of a sudden I blink, and then I'm in a random guy's apartment. I'm like, where the fuck am I? Get off me.
Oh yeah, no, seriously. But it's true though. You one day you just wake up and you're like, oh hi, I guess I'm a human.
Hi.
I think.
Yeah.
Hi, mommy. Like, you have no idea what the fuck's going on, really. So no one knows is my whole entire point. But what was your question?
I don't remember.
I think it was. What was it?
I don't remember what the point of this was.
Ah! I have no idea. It was something.
Everybody can have their own beliefs.
No, but you asked me a question.
I don't remember.
You said something like, because I started talking about my mom being mad at me for being, when I was little, because I had, with thoughts, were you asking about bad thoughts? Oh, Neil's shadow people.
Oh yeah, with the hat.
Yeah, the hat. Where did we go? Okay. Yikes. Okay. So, I don't really believe, that's what I said. I don't really believe in this stuff, like I said. But at the same time I do, because people who are really close to me, who I know would never lie to me, have gone through things.
Yeah.
And it makes me fucking cringe, because I'm like, if you were experiencing this, I've either experienced it and just didn't realize that's what it was, or I blocked it out, or I haven't and everyone's crazy besides me. I'm not too sure.
Okay, so I just want to, after this story, remind me about the last time we were in Toronto in the hotel.
Oh, that one too.
Oh, okay, continue
that
about
one
Neil's
too.
story. Yeah.
So Neil told me that when he was younger, he'd be walking down the street or different places, and he'd be followed by a guy with no legs and a top hat. Almost like in a trench coat kind of thing. I don't know if you've seen that TV show on Netflix that was really popular about the haunted house and the kids that lived in it. Silent, whatever it was called.
I don't watch that shit, dude.
I forget what it was called.
Like, I have tears in my eyes just thinking about this.
And Neil
story.
is not the kind of person that make that up. Like, he was literally like, it was weird. Like, I remember when I was little, it was odd. And then, him and his sister, both of them, were at a hotel in England. And they're on one of the top floors for this. It was some sort of like, I don't know if it was like a party or a get together of some sort, where they're in, I think they were more of the conference style hotel lobby rooms up higher up. And they were there, and they both looked at each other, and they looked out, and there was this woman who on top of one of the buildings across them, and she jumped off the building. So they're freaking out, being like, someone just jumped off that building, a lady just jumped off that building. And everyone's freaking out, and they look down, there's no one really there, and they're freaking out. Both of them saw it, both of them.
What the fuck?
They run and tell the person from the hotel that someone just jumped off the building across, kind of like so someone can get help or whatever. And she goes, no, like, people have said that before kind of thing, and
it's a ghost just reliving their fucking death.
I don't know.
I believe in spirits and ghosts and stuff, and I try not to be afraid of it, but it really does scare me. You know what I mean? It
scares me too. Like, I always say, if I ever saw a ghost or demon, I would probably end up in a psych hospital. But at the same time,
That's fine.
You went silent, and I didn't like that.
I can see a light. Oh, it's from a building over there.
Oh, okay. So there's that, and then my mom and my aunts and them lived in the haunted house when they were little, and I can't tell the story on here or I'll be disowned because they're so afraid of it. If I talk about it, I'll get in trouble.
Right.
And that makes me nervous because they're actually still terrified of this. So obviously something happened. And then my cousin Emma told me this a few months ago, and she was sleeping, and a little girl, she woke up, turned around, there's a little girl with pinky tails and like demon looking little girl giggling, sitting in her room staring at her going, haha, like staring at her sitting there. So Emma's like, bye-bye, and she like was so scared, she was so still, she turned around to the other side of her bed and like wiped her eyes and kind of closed her eyes a bit and opened them, and she was laying in the bed laying at her, staring at her. So then she wakes up and she's obviously fucking petrified. Okay? And then no, everyone keeps saying to her, well, it was just a dream.
No.
And I said to her, that is not a dream. Because you were physically moving and her eyes are open and that thing was still in there. So I was like, either it was sleep paralysis, extreme sleep paralysis where you technically are dreaming but you're awake, which I have sleep paralysis and it's never been that bad.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty trippy. Or you were literally visited.
Fuck. I don't like that. I can't. Like, fuck. Help me.
And poor Emma, she would never believe that stuff before.
Poor Emma.
So that's one of the things that makes me believe it because she was a skeptic. She, from a young age, was like, Like, even at 18, she's like, I don't really believe in it. And then that happens to her and she's like, oh. She goes, I just tell myself it was sleep paralysis.
I just think every one of my family members that have passed on, all of my angels that look over me, because I know they protect me from that shit. Mm-hmm. I know that they keep that shit away from me because I couldn't deal with that. Like when we went to Toronto last year, was it last year or the year before? It was last year.
April of last year.
Yeah, so we went and we stayed in a hotel.
Which we stayed at before, but this time it was different.
It was weird.
I've stayed at this hotel multiple times. Morgan I've stayed. This is our second or third time at that hotel. Second time. But they put us in a different room. And in this room, we normally get a room with like 2 double queen beds. Yeah. We have a blast. We're usually on like maybe the 5th or 6th floor or whatever. This time we're on one of the top floors of the Strathcona in Toronto, downtown Toronto. And we're put in a room with 2 single beds. And as soon as you walk in,
literally a shoebox bed or room.
Yeah, and as soon as you walk in, it's cold.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, and it just wasn't fun feeling, It just wasn't. But we just whatever. Like
because we're like we go with the flow. And
so we had our drinks. We're getting ready for the Jays game. We're getting ready to go to the aquarium and go for drinks at one of the bars, Jack Astor's, wherever the hell we went. Like our normal Toronto thing we do every summer. But this summer was different. First of all, Morgan wears my white Pilar jersey and then gets so drunk she fucking eats 6 hot dogs.
They only gave me 4.
No, they gave you 3.
Oh.
You asked for 4 and he got mad at you and said you're getting 3, honey. Because you were so drunk.
First, listen, people. I worked an overnight before this, so I worked until 7 a.m. and I was supposed to sleep until about 9 or 10.
No,
and
11.
Yeah, I was supposed to sleep until then, and then we would go. But I was way too excited, so I'm like, let's go now.
Yeah, she texted me that. Let's go now. I'm like, it was like 8:30 in the morning. You're like 8:30. You're like, I'm in a shower. Let's go now. And I'm like, okay, I'm driving. You
I was like, oh, I'll sleep on the way. Yeah.
And then you wouldn't let me drive. You drove.
No, I didn't drive. I was in the passenger seat, but I didn't.
Oh, did I drive?
Yeah, you drove all the way there, and then I was going to drive all the way back.
Oh,
and then
yes.
On the way back, I'm like, oh, I hate driving in Toronto. You're like, I love driving on Toronto, but I hate the highways. Uh-huh. And I love the highways. And then we're like, why are we doing this wrong?
We're perfect. Why are we perfect?
But, so yeah, I had 0 sleep, and then we started drinking. Once we get there.
We left 4 or 5 hours earlier than planned. What did I just say? 4 or 5 hours earlier than planned. Oh, yeah. See, I thought I had a speech impediment, too. So we're drinking 4 or 5 hours earlier than we planned. Yikes. So
we went to the aquarium.
It's like 11 a.m., 12 p.m. We're in the hotel room, haven't eaten anything. We're drinking. We're getting ready for the aquarium. It was a blast, though. We went to
I forgot that we went to the aquarium.
I know, but it was a blast.
So much fun. In our Jays get-ups. We were at the fucking aquarium.
Drunk in our Jays
And then we went to restaurant after.
Jack Astor's, I think.
No, it wasn't. It was like a fancier one.
Oh, we went to a different one. You're right.
It was right by the stadium.
Right across the street.
And remember, because I insulted the bartender.
Okay, so we sit up. We get there. We sit up, and Morgan's like, ooh, and then she says, "Do you have any specials for drinks?" And I'm like, "Oh God, why would you ask that?"
I'm like slurring.
First of all, just get your normal bitch ass drink, like a whiskey sour, things we love.
Yeah.
Get a beer, get a glass of wine, get something like we normally do. She gets this stupid drink. It was like orange peel and Southern Comfort, coffee, and all this weird shit mixed together.
So this girl's like, "Oh, it's this drink," and I'm like, "Oh, what's in that?" She's like, "Oh, I've never made it before." I was like, "Okay, I'll try it."
I don't know why you did that. It's stupid.
I don't know either.
I've never made it before. I'll try it. That's like
yeah.
What the fuck?
I'll take one. It was only $7.
You drank it, but you were gagging.
No, so I took a first sip, and the girl comes over, and she's like, "Oh, how is it?" And I said, okay, backstory. You didn't mean it the way you said it. No, because my dad would say something like this, and
it's something you would say to me too, and I'd laugh my ass off. But since she didn't know you, and she obviously is the type of girl who doesn't get that kind of humor, she was taking it personally as you were getting mad at her, but you weren't.
I literally, she's like, "Oh, how was it?" I was like, "Just so you know, never make this for anybody else ever again." And then she didn't say anything. She walked away, and we seen her at the end of the bar talking to her manager, and then she never came back to that side of the bar ever again.
No, someone else replaced her. They swapped sides.
The fucking manager dude.
Yeah, I know.
And then he's like, "How's your drink?" And I was like, "Oh, it's fine." Like, he's like, "Oh, can I get you something else?" I was like, "No, I'm gonna drink it. Like, there's a lot of alcohol in this, but I'll have a Somersby after it's done
to chase it down with."
Oh my God! So I felt so bad after, like.
Yeah, she just didn't understand the humor of you. Because you weren't saying, you were just saying, yeah, don't make this for anyone again. It's not a good drink.
And guaranteed, if it was a guy bartender or if I was a man, it would have been fine. But because it was a woman saying it to another young girl.
You're attacking her.
I was attacking her. And like, my humor is like dad joke versus like, I just don't understand the world. So that's my humor. Like
a lost dad.
It's, yeah. That doesn't understand.
Which is why we're called the unaccompanied millennials, because we're not accompanied by anything.
Okay, so we're gonna get back to the hotel.
We keep doing that.
Wait, I'm sorry.
The fucking hotel. So, Morgan's drunk as fuck. It's funny, and I'm used to it, and I know what's going on. We didn't get our usual poutine. We didn't go to the bar. We didn't do anything we normally do, but it's fine, because I took
videos next to that creepy fucking... Remember the statue?
That's what possessed us that
night. Yeah, I'm like, what? In the middle of Toronto, it's 7 p.m. 7 p.m. I'm wasted. I have no recollection. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Get a picture. I think I peed my pants laughing. Alanah takes a video of me with the fucking possessed statue.
So, normally we don't get back till our hotel 2:30 in the morning. No, this night... 10 p.m. sharp. We're back in the hotel. And I know why Morgan didn't fucking nap. But it's fine. I'm not mad at all. So, I was like, no, it'll be fine because we'll be able to wake up really early and go shopping all day before we go home. So, this is actually perfect.
And didn't I pass out on top of the covers?
So, I'm getting there.
Okay.
I go to turn around to talk to Morgan because I brush my teeth and stuff and I come out and I turn around. She's passed out backwards on the bed, like her feet are where her head
on the wrong side of the bed.
Yeah, and you're like spread right
with
out.
My shoes,
with your shoes
and all
on,
my clothes.
Your bag's still on, everything. So I take your bag off, try to put a blanket over you. You're not budging, so I was like, fuck it. So I crawl into my little bed where you can't move your fucking arms, and I'm pissed because they fucked up our room.
I'm
pissed. So.
I'm sorry, Alanah just pulled out a piece of hose.
We're on
from
Zoom
the couch,
so she can see me, and she's like, all she sees is my face go down, and I look up, and I have a tube in my hand. I don't know why that's there. So weird.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
I can't. Last Zoom, I forgot she was even on Zoom, and I was staring at the wall in the corner.
She was. I thought she was possessed the whole fucking time.
And then, like, 45 minutes goes by, and I'm like, oh my god, Morgan's been watching me. Like, I'm pretty sure I picked my nose at one point. Like, not actually, but I was like, I didn't know anyone was watching me.
I don't know. When we're on Zoom, I only look at myself.
Oh,
so
cute.
especially because I only had I had my half fun.
You're all,
I was half
at
fun,
me.
Morgan. Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, hotel. So I go to sleep. What, 1:32? No, which hours? 3 a.m.
That was the worst sleep I've ever had. Like,
yeah.
I just pretended I was asleep for most of it because I was scared. But
what do you mean? You
like,
was, like before? Like,
no, so I fell asleep. But when I woke up from when I time traveled, because I was like blackout drunk from the game, I woke up in bed. I was nicely in my pajamas. Mm-hmm. My shoes weren't on. I was the right side in bed.
Wait, what?
Like, I woke up.
When did you do that?
I don't know. Like, because we woke up simultaneously, and I was like, this is the worst sleep I've ever had. Because we were up for like hours, like before the sun came up. Do you remember?
Yes, because what happened? So we're not even saying what happened yet.
Yeah.
We're
confusing people. I woke up at the same time that you woke up though, because of this.
Like it was like what I want to say 3 o'clock in the morning exactly, which is literally witching hour, which is the freakiest part. And I wake up and I'm like, I wake up
like
because
jolted.
I had a fucking nightmare of Morgan and I were in that hotel room in my nightmare in that room, and I went to the bathroom to hide to run from something because we're standing in the room and it looked exactly like the room, and then barging in the door of the hotel room goes boom, and it's a fucking nun, white face, black draped hair, full on nun, and it's doing this like face, like this creepy like face, kind of like really like getting aggressive, like coming banging into the door. So I'm like, fuck, right, in my dream and in real fucking life, because I'm basically up. So I like run into the bathroom, and I remember backing into the bathtub, and I know it's coming, but I don't want to fucking see it, so I close my eyes, and then I wake up, and I'm like waking up, and I look over, and Morgan goes, hey. She goes, this was the worst sleep of my life, or whatever she said. Yeah. And I looked at her and I was like, we gotta leave here. We gotta go. We
literally were up and we were ready to go by 5.
Oh yeah, we woke up at the exact same time, which is why I think something had woken up Morgan too, but I don't necessarily think it was a nightmare. It was either the energy of me or the energy of what was going on. And I told her, and she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I couldn't sleep after that.
No, we were up. We were both up.
And it's not even like we could be like, hey, like, come sleep in my bed.
No,
like, I'm scared. There was no room. Like, I was barely there. Like,
yeah, and we left. We didn't even go to the mall. We just went home. We were home by like 11:30.
We went to the Pancake House somewhere.
Yeah, and we were
in
happy.
Barrie.
Yeah, we went to the Stacked, whatever it was called.
Stacked, yeah. Okay, side note, whenever me and Alanah do anything together, people think we're lesbians. Which I can understand.
Every time.
All the time. Oh my.
But we don't help it.
No, like we go and we'll share
food. Share food every time. One of us always gets the bill vices. It's always like we kind of almost take turns.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll say split in half, but usually most times it's because it's things.
And I'm always wearing plaid and Crocs.
That doesn't help, and I usually dress a little different, so people probably think we're a couple. Or we'll go to every time we go to the bar, like an actual bar, we always put our money together in our wallet because we don't
lose it.
One of us has to be in control of that if we both can't bring our wallet somewhere. Mm-hmm. And we go up and we always get drinks at the same time. So I'll say, hey, 2 of this or 2 of that. So it looks like we're buying each other drinks constantly. Oh my God. And then didn't we go somewhere on Valentine's Day for dinner?
Yeah.
Like that doesn't help. We also go shopping together and we'll be sitting there and I'll be like, oh, I'm trying to find like black blah blah blah, like shoes or whatever it is. So Morgan's going through the bin with me trying to help, and then she goes, excuse me, we're trying to find this, and then the girl comes and she's like, okay, and then I just look at her, I'm like, Morgan, you're not helping this situation
and like
right
there's
now.
Nothing, we're not saying like we're against lesbian couples. I have gay friends, I love them, mm-hmm. like they're the best people, mm-hmm. but like we're both very straight.
Yeah, it's just funny because people then associate us as a lesbian couple, and then when they see us with men, they're probably very confused.
Very, very.
And I think it's funny. I don't care
because remember at the Stacked we were gonna split it. We were talking about it, but then she just
said
brought
one bill.
The one.
Oh yeah, people all the time drop off one bill.
Yeah,
to us
just
too.
drops off the bill.
Is it together? And we're like,
they don't even ask. They just assume.
That
they're like,
too.
And we're like, okay, I guess I'll pay for it.
Yeah, but that's okay. Whatever.
Oh my God. Anyways, so
it's funny.
I'm not sure what this episode is even about. But
these are my favorite ones.
I know.
We just talk about random stuff we normally talk about.
Me too. Oh my God.
They're my favorite ones. They're the unprepared ones.
Yes.
But they're my favorite ones.
Let us know, like, if you like our rambling ones or our...
Some feedback would be nice.
Yeah, please.
Know. Please.
Stop. Like, come on.
Maybe that guy will give us some feedback. The hater.
Oink, oink.
Oink, oink. He's like, loved it. Oink, oink.
Oh my God. I think it's your turn for the outro.
Yay. Oh my God. Wow, you're becoming more considerate.
Look,
I think I'm growing on you here. I'm teaching you something here. Okay, well, thank you so much, guys. That is it for today. Thank you for making it this far. If you didn't, then you don't get to hear the big surprise. There's no surprise.
I was like, what the fuck is the surprise?
It's like, for me? Oh my God. So, yeah, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is new. Morgan puts a lot of work into it. And eventually we're going to start putting real vids on there.
Yes. And you'll get to see our faces. Our beautiful faces.
I was trying to teach Morgan how to apply foundation properly and stuff. And she was like, you're so good at this. So maybe I'll throw in a little tutorial. Just for Morgan's purpose and for people. More of a funnier one. I'm no beauty guru. But
better than me.
Well, I think anyone is. She's like, well, what is a translucent powder?
Yeah.
What is setting powder? So
like none of those words I even know.
She goes, translucent, like it's clear. I'm like, no. Like,
yeah. Well, that's what translucent means.
Yeah, but it just
SOS.
It just means that it's not making your skin darker or blushy or whatever.
All right, please check out our YouTube and our Instagram and our Twitter.
Oh, we're needy bitches.
We are.
And like and subscribe
I'm
and
a Leo,
comment.
so...
But yeah, so thanks guys, and make sure you stay safe, stay connected,
and stay safe, stay healthy, and stay connected.
What did I say?
Stay safe, stay connected,
bye,
and stay healthy. Bye guys.
Bye.